Hi, this is Jessica with RxNT, and today I'm going to be walking you through the electronic health record demonstration. That does include scheduling capabilities along with e-prescribing, so I'll do a quick walkthrough of that as well. What you're seeing here is the RxNT scheduler, and if you use this in coordination with our billing product, you're going to have the ability to run eligibility verification every morning at 4 a.m. automatically. And so what that means is that when you or your administrative staff come in the morning, you'll see eligibility that's been run for all patients scheduled to be seen that day. That's a huge time saver, and it alerts you of potentially problematic insurance issues that could come up later. Beyond that, scheduling appointments with RxNT is really very simple. You select the time slot that you want to schedule for, and from here, you have the option to search for a patient or to add a new patient. RxNT is going to set up your unique template types. These are the types of appointments that you as an organization do. We collect this from you at the time of implementation during your intake, and you'll be able to see those here. So for example, a new patient visit might last 60 minutes, whereas an immunization visit might only be 10 minutes. And then of course, you'll have the option and the capability to record repeating visits, group visits, and so on and so forth. Now, once the appointment is scheduled for you, you will have the ability to check these patients in. And a check-in includes a review of the appointment information, demographic information, insurance information, and if you use the billing portion of the RxNT system, what that will include is eligibility information. Again, we're running this for you automatically in the morning, but you can run this again. You also can review and collect payment information. This is where you'll be able to see important and pertinent copay information, patient balance, and right from this screen, you can actually collect a payment. Maybe it's a check, for example. This will allow you to accept the payment. One, you'll get a receipt that can be printed directly for a patient. And two, this is going to provide a notification or a new payment to the billing team. And then, of course, we've got the call-in and the checkout component of the RxNT system. Now, that's a high-level overview of the scheduler. There's a lot of great features built in here. And if you do have any questions about the scheduler, we recommend talking to a product specialist. We can discuss how you can add payments even if you're not checking a patient in, how to find the next available appointment or to run a copay report. Maybe you just want to set up a list of tasks or reminder phone calls. You can do that all within the system. Now, from the scheduler, I'm going to actually move on into the medical record. And what you'll notice is that in RxNT, we operate out of tabs. This allows authorized users the ability to be both in the scheduler and the medical record at the same time. Now I'm in the medical record for RxNT, and here we provide a lot of pertinent information to the provider. I am logged in as a provider, and here I get to review all of my prescription history for the practice. As I work my way down the left-hand side, I have the ability to also review notes that have not yet been signed or finalized. This is a great audit trail for providers that are really busy. They might start a note and they need a reminder to come back to it and to finalize it. If you are using the RxNT billing portion, this not released functionality is another audit tracker, and this will allow your providers to see notes that they've completed, they've finalized, but that have not been submitted to the billing department or the billing company to actually be billed. So these are visits that are sitting there unbilled for your organization. Now, while the dashboard provides a lot of great information, the majority of your time will be spent in the top right-hand corner. So I'm going to go ahead here and search for our patient, Kristen Miller. Now, because the patients are added in the scheduler, you do not need to add them into the electronic medical record. It is the exact same database. So we are eliminating duplicate patient data entry. When I select Kristen Miller's name, this launches me into Kristen Miller's chart. And the left side of the chart is actually configurable by provider. So each provider in your organization, or if you're a one provider organization, same concept applies here. You can determine exactly what fields and what information is important to you. So for example, you might collect labs, but maybe you decide you don't want to use facts. You can make these modifications, and you can even decide, hey, I like to see the patient's problem list towards the top. So depending on the needs of your organization and how you want to run that, you can make modifications. Now, by selecting Save, this is going to save for the entire practice. And this left-hand side allows you to find pertinent information within the patient's chart. So if you want to quickly check a patient's problem list, review allergies, maybe even look at the past family and social history for this patient, you can do so quickly by selecting that component of the navigation bar. The other benefit of these plugins is RxNT leverages this information to make it very easy for you to create notes within the system. So for example, you might want to select this Encounters tab. And by selecting this Encounters tab, you have two options. You can always copy a note forward from a previous date of service. That takes all of the details from that date of service and it puts them into a brand new date of service. This prevents you from having to type the same information over and over again. All you need to do in these particular cases is delete what's changed and update or modify what needs to be changed. Otherwise, when you click on this green plus button, you get to select from a list of your templates. Now, RxNT has an entire database of templates. We call them forms. These are the structures or the outline of the note for you to select from. And in this particular demonstration, I have notes that I most frequently show to clients. You're likely going to have a list of 2 to 5 of your favorite forms. If you cannot find a form that meets your needs, we do offer custom forms. Just talk to a product specialist about that. Otherwise, when you come in, you'll simply click on the form that you'd like to use. Now, this first form is a pretty comprehensive form. It's one of the more popular forms, and it's a combination of checkboxes and narrative. So depending on what you like in a form, this may be a great fit. So what I'll do here is I'm just going to scroll from top to bottom and point out how this particular form works. So here where you see the free text boxes, you can click to type or click to dictate. And then you work your way down from there. Eventually, we come across the vitals, and you'll have the option to update those from the plugin that you saw on the left-hand side. These plugins are available throughout the entire system. From here, we move into checkboxes. You can check 1 or 2 as you see necessary. And this works together to create a fully populated version of this form into a PDF view that's designed to be really easy to print. Now, as I move from left to right, I can move into the clinical exam component, and then moving further to the right, I can review the preview or the final version of this form. And again, this pulls into a PDF view for your review, and this is just one particular example of the form. Another form that's really popular within the RxNT system is our basic encounter. Now, this is a much more simplistic version of the form than the one that I just showed you, but I do like you to have two different things to compare. This particular form really operates very similarly, except for all of your notes will be put into this top section. And from there, you leverage the plugins, from vitals to current medications to patient allergies, and then of course your patient's past family and social history. And just like the other form that I showed you, this all pulls together to create one easy to read PDF that can be printed from any point in time in the system. And when you do finalize a note, I like to mention as well that we do allow your electronic signature to attach automatically to this form, and that will include an electronic timestamp as well. The final piece that I'm going to cover today in the overview of our system, again, it's designed to be a quick overview, is the e-prescribing component. Now, one thing that I think is absolutely critical is that the e-prescribing is built in, and you're going to be able to send all of your medications electronically through the RxNT system. So along the top, we have current, previous. This is a full history of everything that's been done in the RxNT system, and history. This actually expands what you're able to see beyond the walls of your organization. This is basically a filled data history from the pharmacy and a claims history data from the insurance companies. And this is for anywhere in the US for up to 2 years. So if a patient's primary care provider is prescribing something or their mental health provider is prescribing something, you're going to want to have access to that information, and that's what this history tab enables you to do. You always have the ability to write a brand new medication by clicking on the Write Rx tab. Otherwise, you can simply select from a list of medications that already exist for this patient. By checking this box and selecting Refill, this launches you into a review of the medication information. From here, you can add additional medications, or you continue on to the pharmacy search screen. When you found and selected the pharmacy that you wish to prescribe to, we launch you in for a review of that medication. Now, for non-controlled medications, when you click send, it's instantly released. But for controlled medications, when you click send, you're going to be prompted to complete two-factor authentication. I recommend talking to a product specialist about this a little bit more in depth. They can go through exactly what's required for controlled medications, but this is designed to be a high-level overview. If you have any other questions about the scheduling solution, the medical record, or the e-prescribing, please let us know. Otherwise, we look forward to talking with you soon, and have a great day.